Alright guys, today we're gonna replace the fuel injectors on this S65 BMW M3 engine. As you know, the fuel injectors are a common maintenance item, and usually after 100,000 miles you want to replace them because they have a failure, blah blah blah. You know about it if you're watching this video, right? There's 8 of them, bank 1, bank 2, and in order to get to it we're gonna remove the air box here, the intake hose, and the plenum itself. Fastened by 2 T20 screws here. It holds this plastic piece right there, and then there's 8 T25 screws holding the air box with the air filter in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those. Drop the screw. So here's the air filter. Just gonna push it in, or we can take it out in one piece if yours is really. So there's a spring here. You gotta push the air filter in, and it comes out. But the spring here on mine is very stubborn, so I'm going to remove this hose clamp and then try to take it out in one piece. This comes out, and there is a fresh air hose here. Just unclip it, press these two, it pops out. Alright, so that intake hose is going to come out now in one piece with the filter. Fingers crossed. There we go. 2 pieces. Oh well. So 2 times, regular stuff. That's the airbox removed. Let's see if we can fish out the screw. And you know that only happens when you're recording. It doesn't happen normally, of course, right? See it right there. Screw found. Alright, next I'd like to take the passenger air filters, these 2 boxes over here, and the cowl off. Matter of fact, the brace is here also. That way it's going to give me enough room, more room to work and take the plenum off. It's easy enough. It's the first one. This one has a, they call it the intrusion actuator, so the car would know when somebody opens the hood or if the hood is open or closed. So if there's intrusion in there, it has a clip. It's just a push clip. That's our connector removed. Second air box out. And now onto the cowl. There is a air temperature sensor, I think, here for the intake air for the cabin. I'll show it to you. Right here, this is the sensor, I think, the air temperature sensor. It has some tabs here, and it's locked into this plastic retainer. And basically, you just twist it to align the tabs to the hole and push it out. Or you can remove this connector, but it's an old car and the connectors are kind of finicky, so I'm just gonna twist it and remove it. Like that. This comes out. Just wanna, and that should be all the wires to take the cowl out. The cowl is fastened by 2 push clips, one on this side and one on the driver's side, and then it has connecting clips under it that you just pull out. So now to take the plenum out, I'm going to bring you in. There's one electrical connector and two hoses connected to the plenum. There's one hose under there and one hose under here. It's hard to see. There's one hose. Second one is back here on the driver's side. This is just this type of clip you gotta push in and pull, and then the electric connector. After that, we got the 8 individual throttle bodies that are fastened to the plenum, and you need a 6 mil, I think, or 8 mil to open these hose clamps. There's 8 of them, and those 2 back ones are going to be very hard to get. And once you take both sides out, the plenum should just pull up. Connector out. Remove the watch. I think it's easier to get the back one out and pull this up a little bit to get better access there. This hose is out, it's loose. Yeah, I have some slack in the hose that's going under. So I'm going to get on the, working on the, connecting the throttle bodies from the plenum. That way I can pull it and get better access. 8 is too big. I think I should go 6. Yep. So just a few turns to loosen the hose clamp. Second one. It looks like those 2 back there. I'm gonna have to devise a plan with some extensions and swivels and whatnot to get to it, because this driver's not gonna get to it. Alright, this worked. So it's a long extension, a wobble on a 6mm. I was able to get in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this coolant expansion tank forward. It's just 2 10 mils, and it's held by a grommet down there. You pull it up, kind of push it forward. That way you can get better access to the hose clamps there. So the coolant expansion tank, 2 10 mils, one here, one here. Just pull it up and move it forward. So be careful, you don't want to get coolant everywhere. There's a coolant hose. You got a connector here. Push and pull. Boom. Connectors out. Coolant tag repositioned. Now we have better access to at least 2 of the hose clamps there. Got it. Well, we're going to find out again. The problem with the wobble extension is it holds the bit kind of loose. It doesn't hold it securely, and it got dislodged and fell. Never gonna find it. Oh, actually I see this right there. Boom, got it. Great success. There we go. That's the front out. And back out. Now remember, there's two hoses that we can disconnect. Let's make sure to do it now. So we have better access. The nice thing working on older vehicles is all these connections are super tight. Just doesn't want to budge. You might apply a little bit of silicone grease. There we go. This one came off. Never mind. So just about, I think I disconnected that. Yep. Boom. Plan them off. Here are the 8 throttle bodies that makes this engine one of a kind. Magnificent. And the sound that it makes when you're driving it is just priceless. Can't be replicated anymore. These are the two actuators, one here under the plenum, under the wiring harness, that are controlled. The right one controls the right bank, the left one controls the left bank. And they actually go bad. So, but it doesn't cause a catastrophic failure of the engine. And I believe the previous owner replaced it, but we'll check. Yeah, seem like they open and close nicely. Alright, so here's the fuel rail that supplies the injectors, and this is the injector connection, electrical connection, I believe. Now we're going to get to disconnecting the injectors. There's one for each cylinder, of course, and here's the connector. That's the injector right there, and this is the connector. It's the older type. You got to pull out these pins on both sides, and then that, and pull the connector out. And then we're gonna, the fuel rail just should disconnect the low pressure fuel line right here. That's the disconnection point, and the fuel rail will come off with the injectors in one piece. So let's get to it. So this is the quick disconnect. We'll see how quick it is for the fuel line. And just make sure you have some towels and be careful not to spill fuel too much. You can depressurize the tank by pulling the fuel line, by pulling the fuel pump fuse, and then just cranking the car a little bit, and it should depressurize. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I disconnect. Alright, so I got the fuses out, and as we saw in the diagram, F16 is a 10 amp and F70 is a 20 amp. So I have them out. Since they're out, might as well check and make sure they're good. I mean, I don't have a problem, but hey, why not? Let's be thorough. So you get your multimeter out, you put it on the buzzer continuity test, and you just check for continuity. Yep, that's good. This is also good. Alright, so without this special tool, they're saying you can push this gray clip out. I'm going to try to do that carefully. So people are doing it with their fingers. Let's try that. Got really fat fingers, so I don't know. Alright, yeah. So this is the gray clip out. Now, what you do is push this black tab. I don't know if you can see. Push this black tab in, and the fuel rush will come out. Make sure you're wearing gloves, safety. Anytime you work with hazmat material like fuel, safety is utmost. So I'm expecting still some fuel residue, even though we tried to depressurize. So that's pushed in. This should come out. It's coming out. It's loose. No fuel. A little bit. Spoke too soon. Just a few drops. Nothing major. Alright, that's that line loose. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the fuel rail and unplug the injectors with the fuel rail all in one piece. Alright, so first I have to unplug the connectors, the electrical connectors to the injectors. Should be 8 of them. Let's do that. Using a pick, tool, just carefully. Yep, so you can just carefully push out the metal clip. And connection pops out, nice and easy. Best of German engineering for you. So this thing, if it pops out and flies somewhere in the engine bay, good luck finding it. Knock on wood, this doesn't happen to me. Again, these last two are stubborn because you got no space to work and they're hard to see. But take your time and move on to the next one, and when you come back to it, you'll probably have thought about its stubbornness, and we'll work with you. Yeah, another thing is, if you're going to have this open for a long extended period of time, you want to cover the throttle body so nothing goes inside accidentally.
A few moments later.
Yep. Got the third one out, and now for the last one. Alright, finally this bank is done. Let's move on to the driver's side bank.
$2,000 later.
Boom, second one is done, and now with the fuel and electrical disconnector, we're gonna take off the rails and the injectors. Alright, so now we have 4 T30 screws, 2 holding the rail on this side and 2 on that side. Bank is out. Alright, remember the fuel line with disconnected. We're gonna go ahead and route it here so it doesn't snag to other lines or cables. I'm gonna get a towel and see if any fuel comes out of here. Yep, that's out. Even though I moved those clamps, not to fuel them. All the injectors out. Rail is completely out. Boom. In the next episode, we're gonna make the injectors squirt. Gonna open up some Bosch goodies, and you're gonna see me make stupid faces while I struggle with the injector connectors again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, and Durud.